The big story in Action News is the fear and chaos as an apparent ICE operation unfolded near a South Jersey school bus stop.
4th and 5th grade students running from the presence of ICE agents. Children scattered in different directions. One child yelling in Spanish, ICE is there. The kids are still wearing their backpacks.
It set off what school district officials called, quote, significant fear and confusion for kids in the area.
I just said, I need to run. They could maybe come after us, trying to find our parents. I was gagging. I almost threw up. I feel like they're just gonna come out of nowhere and take my parents.
Hi again, everyone. It's really hard to watch, right? That's what's being done in all of our names as Americans right now to kids. It's now 5 o'clock in New York. The massive nationwide backlash against the brutal and cruel tactics being waged by ICE against kids. It's a direct result of people witnessing with their own eyes and many times taking out a phone incidents like this. Little kids, children, sent running in fear and clearly traumatized by what they're experiencing. In this instance, while they were waiting for the school bus. And people witnessing that are saying enough. That little boy we just showed you, his name is Dylan. He's one of the kids who were caught on camera running after ICE agents were spotted near his bus stop on Thursday morning. It happened in Lindenwold, New Jersey. The Department of Homeland Security says the agents were theirs and they were engaged in a, quote, targeted enforcement action, end quote. They were there to arrest someone they said had a criminal record, and they left without completing the arrest, they say. If you're feeling heartbroken and furious about the collateral damage, if you will, terrified kids, know that you're not alone. The very next day, members of the community came out in force to protest the presence of ICE terrifying kids near their kids' bus stop. Take a listen to Joseph Zobel, a school counselor and coach.
I've never protested before in my entire life, but sorry.
It's all right.
I watched 4th and 5th grade kids run away from our own government. I never want to see that again. And I'm not going to stand by and watch my neighbors run away scared. That's not Camden County. That's not New Jersey. It's not the United States. I love the United States. I love New Jersey. And I love Camden County. I love Lindenwold too. But that's not what we are. It's not who we are. And I decided I was going to come out here and stay with you guys and be part of this, because I never want to see a child ever run away from our own government ever again. Sorry about getting emotional.
As we've been reporting here over the last few days, weeks, and months, poll after poll after poll shows that more and more Americans witness ICE's tactics, that more and more and more Americans oppose ICE and Trump and the mass deportation policies. A new YouGov poll finds just 34% of all Americans approve of Donald Trump's mass deportation raids in major cities. Even in red states like Texas and Missouri, a protest movement has risen in opposition to ICE. Protesters have been showing up to try to block the construction of new ICE detention centers in their communities. That's happening all over the country. The backlash against Donald Trump and his administration's mass deportation policies shows no signs of stopping. It's where we start today with school counselor and coach, the aforementioned Joseph Zobel. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Your clip went so viral. Do you know how many people have seen it?
I've heard that there's like millions. That's crazy to me.
Millions with an S. I think close to 3 million people have seen it. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's more than we'll see you here. I mean, that's a whole lot of people. Just tell me first what you saw that made you want to be out there.
Absolutely. It actually was the clip that you had shown previously of the kids running, and it just bothered me, and I was just like, I've been seeing throughout the nation that things have just been so bad and deteriorating so quickly that I just looked and I said, this is right here. This is Camden County. This is my backyard, And I said, something came inside me and said, like, go up there and do something. I'm allowed to protest. They're going to protest. Let me get out there and just stand with these people, because that was just one of the worst things I think I've ever seen. I was crying that day, and clearly now millions of people have seen me cry.
What is it about, I mean, what you said is so profound, right? You don't want to live in a country where kids are running from their own government. Say more.
Yeah, never. I mean, listen, since I remember, I've always been in the caring field, right? So I'm a counselor, but I was a firefighter before that. I'm always a big fan of helping people. And just to see that children are running from our own government. These guys are wearing like that's not America. That's not what I remember. I love this country. I'm very patriotic. I can't imagine that kids would be waiting at a school bus stop to go to school to get their education and are running in fear from our government while waiting for a school bus. We need to change what we're doing. We need to pivot. Like, I don't know how we can look at that as a nation and be like, okay, we're doing the right thing. No, we're not doing the right thing. We need to change what we're doing. This tactic or what we are doing is not working.
You work with kids. What is it? Like, my worry is that we're traumatizing a generation in the same way that the active shooter drills have traumatized generations, that from very, very young, kids learn how to hunger in place, which is a totally different drill than the fire drill where you're getting out of dodge. I mean, just talk about the trauma that you saw these kids experience.
Yeah, one of my main things that I had noticed was that it looked like two siblings might have been running together, like holding hands. And that just hit me so deeply. And they're screaming. And then in a follow-up interview, they said the kids were covering their ears and covering their heads and crying inside the school bus. Because that bus driver apparently went back around to get the kids to just try to get them to school. I mean, I can't imagine being terrified and crying on my way to school. Not talking about a school bully, talking about I'm scared of our own government in order to get there. Yes, the trauma is got to be so extreme for this next generation. And I want to do anything in my power to help them. And I'll do what I need to do to help this next generation. And that's horrible.
A lot of people are finding some comfort in this moment by action. And I saw you there in the video with your American flag at the protest. How did it feel to be part of the protest?
And it's funny you say that because that's actually what made me emotional. So I had never been to a protest before. It's funny. A lot of people, I'm not a very big political person, to be honest with you. I don't get involved in politics very often. I'm, more of, what are the Eagles or Phillies doing type of a guy. But it's when I got there, you should have seen the positivity. It was so beautiful and nice because I constantly see terrible things that happen in protests, but this was so nice. And there was music and there was dancing and all these wonderful people coming together and hugging and holding each other. And I was like, this is the America that I know, that everyone comes together and we're not divided. And then the people were honking horns and, yes, there was some negativity and that's fine. We are a diverse nation. But right now we are so divided and so angry with one another. But this was really beautiful and so sweet. And I think that's why I was crying, because I'm like, this is the America that I know. And that's what I want to see more of. It really was so nice to be out there.
Were you aware when you went out to protest that 2 people protesting ICE policies in Minneapolis had been killed?
Yes, I was aware of that. And that's, when I saw what was happening in Minneapolis, as well as what was happening here. Like, again, it's that when 9/11 happened, I was in 7th grade and I felt helpless in the back of my classroom. So I became a firefighter because I knew I never wanted to feel helpless again. Seeing what's happening on the news now, I feel helpless again. So when I saw that this was happening right here in Lindenwold, I was like, I can do something. I don't have to be helpless. I can stand up. And that's, I think, why I wanted to get out there and do this, because, there's just what's happening throughout the nation, Minneapolis. It's horrible. I keep using the word horrible. It is horrible. We are divided. It's very, very, very disheartening. But I had at least the opportunity here to pop out and just say, hey, this is not right. Because it's not.
Do you feel like being part of the protest tied you into your community more? Like, because what my sense from the people I've talked to is that they get as much out of the protests as they feel like they're giving to their friends and neighbors. I mean, is it something you feel like you might do again?
Definitely feel. It's funny. I went to Haddon Heights High School, so I had some of my lawn side friends that are. That's a very diversified community. Messaged me for the first time since 2007. Like, we're so proud of you. Your mother would be so proud of you. It's been such a wonderful, wonderful thing. I would, if I can help, I would do whatever needed of me. I just don't want to divide people more. I don't want this video. I mean, I've gotten some negativity on this video as well. I don't want division. I want people to come together. If somebody says that I have the ability to make people come together and look at something like the situation, we can all agree that this is wrong, I will help and I will do whatever I have to do.
Do you think we should be able to agree that kids should be out of bounds for whatever they said, targeted enforcement actions?
Right. I feel like that should not be a question that I'm being asked. Kids should not know. Like, I mean, what are we doing here? There's a little boy, I think it was in Minneapolis, like crying on a bus stop. No, like, guys, we need to wake up. This is not right. This is not who we are. Like, I mean, if you want to knock on someone's door or something, I don't know enough about, but geez, Louise, you can't take kids. You can't terrify kids. We're adults. We need to step up as human beings. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. It doesn't have to be a Democrat or Republican issue. Why don't we make this an American issue that we all come together and say, okay, there's certain things that we can agree, and leaving our children alone should be one of them.
Joseph, I believe you that you don't pay a lot of attention to politics, but I just think that politics might need you right now. So I would encourage you to leave all options on the table. From your profound humanity, letting 9/11 shape your choices, to your real rebuttal that should even be a question. I think our politics might just need you. We'll continue to stay in touch with you. Joseph Zobel, thank you for spending time with us today. I'll give you the last word.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. And just, hey, God bless America, right? We can do this. We can do this.